that would be great. Do you need me to call the meeting to order again since you just started recording?
I think we're okay. Meeting was called to order at 5:30.
Okay, and then we'll just give it a minute while we look these over, and then I don't know if Rosie, you want to do attendance just by who you can see in the meeting, or if you want to have people chime in, but I'll let you do the attendance if you don't mind.
Sure. I think just to make sure we have an audio version of it as well. I'm just going to call the names that are showing up as currently on Zoom. That includes, give me one sec so I can let somebody in. That includes Esther Acosta, Isaac Berumen, Ryan Fisher, Tim Seifert, Yvonne Teniente, Angie Bolden, Jason Tamura, Jennifer Camacho, Jose Aguilera, Patricia Solorio, and Robert Doyle. Did I miss anybody's name? No? Okay, great.
All right. So if we could, I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes of last month's meeting.
I second the motion.
Thanks, Tim. And then all in favor?
Aye.
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 And then Rosie, you should know who should have to abstain, who wasn't here last time.
Yeah, Robert Doyle abstains.
Thanks, Bob. And then I'm going to ask that I'm going to pretty much hand the meeting over to Rosie, since it's going to be easier instead of trying to bounce back and forth to me. If you have something to add, if you can just use the raise your hand icon and let me know, and we'll call on you for that. That'd make it a lot easier for us. But if everybody else could just otherwise stay muted, I'm going to mute myself while Rosie talks. And then, like I said, if you do have a question or something, use the icon to just let us know. I don't know if you guys see it or have it on your desktop, or just
And
other.
just to add, Ron had joined, just to add to the attendance record.
Thank you. And then if you don't, then just maybe wave at us, and then Rosie, you can call on people as you need to, if that's all right. I just don't want to have a bunch of people stepping on each other over the meeting.
Sure, that's perfect.
All right. And so let's see, we've approved the minute. If I don't think there's anybody from the public that's in to speak. Rosie, can you see?
No, we do not have anybody from the public at the meeting so far.
And then I take it, and if anybody has anything in for the public comment section, now would be a time to do it. And then otherwise, I'm going to hand it over to Rosie. All righty, it's all yours, Rosie.
Great, thank you so much. Okay, so item number 5 on your agenda, reports from staff, update on Block Grants Advisory vacancy. We currently have 1 vacancy, and that is going before Councilmember Waterfield, and we do have a few applications that have been submitted, and Councilmember Waterfield will review those. And we are not sure yet if there'll be an appointment made before the end of the month, since we only technically have 1 more city council meeting before the end of the month and before the end of the year. I'm anticipating the appointment happening sometime in January to allow Councilmember Waterfield additional time to review the applications that have been received. That is it for that. Now we're moving on to update on existing capital and public service activities, and I'll toss it over to Alicia for that.
Okay, so we have the Chapel Plaza Rehab project, which was a fiscal year 2020 21 project. Chapel Plaza had released their public bid and it's been completed. Project feasibility and construction contracts are being evaluated for any needed adjustments due to budgetary constraints, and the bid was awarded to New In Construction. I'll send out the capital project spreadsheet at the end of the meeting, but that one, oh, thank you. The detailed bid results are linked on the spreadsheet. For the fiscal year 21-22 ADA and pedestrian safety and accessibility improvement project, they're in the process of finalizing the bid documents for the project. Advertising for construction is anticipated to take place early this week. And they also applied for the fiscal year 22-23 applications, just the FYI. City Santa Maria Recreation and Parks Department, Prescott Park design and construction documents have been completed and will be submitted for permitting. The Utilities Department reported that there are no new updates on their part. The Public Works Department reported that this project is in the queue for getting advertised for construction sometime this month. CAPSO, there are 7 projects. The 7 projects that were previously approved last month, they're now complete. The agency just submitted 2 new intakes today for us to review and approve, and they have 3 additional projects that are under review for by their staff. So those should be sent over to us soon. Communify, it took a few follow-up emails just to get an update. So I had just left that in there, that we've been having difficulty getting a hold of them. They submitted an invoice earlier this month too, and we've had trouble getting a response. So we just got a response today around 3. They said that they'll follow up on the invoice tomorrow, but they stated that they have 8 projects pending installation and 12 that are pending assessment that need to be sent to us for review and approval. And the Good Samaritan Shelter Kitchen and Dining Room project, that's currently underway, and things have been looking good so far. We went out there and conducted the mandatory prevailing wage interviews with some of the employees. So that'll be a nice project. And they, this year they applied for the kitchen equipment upgrade. So they're also an applicant for fiscal year 22-23. And for public services, we're just in our 2nd quarter. So we've been receiving invoices, but we haven't really had any issues with agencies so far. And that's about it. I know Rosie had wanted to add something about CAPSO.
Yeah, I just wanted to let the committee know that CAPSLO has really come through a couple times when we have asked them for special, not special, but specific cases that have been brought to our attention. So there's 2 cases that have been brought to our attention recently that CAPSLO has really come through for the clients. The first one was a case that was brought to us by code enforcement. They had gone out to visit an elderly woman and her older son. And by older, I mean like in his 50s. So he wasn't old, but you know, it was the mother and the son living in a senior mobile home park. And unfortunately, they had a bed bug infestation. And code enforcement didn't know how to assist, and obviously this mother and son are on a fixed income, and we reached out to CAPSLO, and it's not something that CAPSLO's ever really taken on, but we looked at the regulations and we realized that that is something that was covered under CDBG capital, and if CAPSLO was willing to take it on, it is something that was covered, and they were willing to take it on. So they took care of that for this family. And then the second one was a case that actually came to us from Adult Protective Services. And that case involved a woman who has been wheelchair bound and that did not have a shower that was wheelchair accessible. And so she has been having to basically get showers outside, have showers taken outside of the showers, like with a bucket, and just her caregiver was just trying to do what they could with what they had. And we reached out to both ComUnify and Capslo. Capslo obviously has the manpower and the additional funding to be able to take on the bigger projects. So they were able to actually do the installation of the walk-in shower. But ComUnify, my understanding was that ComUnify was also going to look into potentially helping with the smaller things like grab bars and the weatherization. But that I kind of just basically let ComUnify and Capslo figure it out. I just connected them with the client and they worked with Adult Protective Services. But Capslo actually for that one did not use Cdbg funding. It used a different source of funding that they were able to obtain, that they were able to bill to. That was a better fit for this particular client. But just two great examples of how we've been able to get cases that have been brought to us by either one of our departments or outside departments and get people who are in need assistance and help to be able to live in their home more comfortably. So just wanted to share that with you all. All right, moving on to number 6, Cdbg CV funding in response to COVID-19. On December 7th, so was it last Tuesday, Council did approve the final resolution to reallocate what's remaining of our Cdbg CV funds to the Boys and Girls Club, and also to help pay for fiber optics that will provide Wi-Fi to the different facilities and parks in the area. So moving forward, we'll move forward with those projects, and we hope to have updates for you soon. Boys and Girls Club, we were told, are ready to go. So that's good news. The fiber optics might take a little bit longer just to get the bids and everything out, but the Boys and Girls Club, they hope to have everything done by the start of summer. So that's good news. Any questions on number 6 before we move on to number 7? Okay, item number 7, Cdbg process for fiscal year 22-23, overview of upcoming key dates. So last Wednesday, applications were due. We received the public service and capital project applications. And tonight, we are going to go over how you can access Zoom grants and take a look at all of those applications. Also, Alicia and Tash have been working diligently to come up with your site visits and start getting all of that to you early. So hopefully in the coming weeks, you'll get additional information as to your site visits and who your teams are going to be and all of that good stuff. So you have everything very early on and ready to go for what's going to be an interesting couple of months. Let me see. So some important key dates, aside from the applications being due last week. So between last week and this week, we're going to do a staff analysis of everything. And then you obviously have access to the applications. And then site visits will be scheduled between January 17th and January 26th. And thank you all who have let us know what your availability is. If you have not let us know, please let us know ASAP. Or if anything's changed since last time we spoke, please let us know as well, as that will affect how we schedule the site visits. So the big things between now and then are the site visits and also just our deliberations. Our deliberations are scheduled for Tuesday, February 15th and Thursday, February 17th. Both are at 5:30 at Shepherd Hall. And those are very important because that's really when you get to decide who gets what and how much. So you get to hear from not only the agencies, but also at the second deliberations, that's when you go through all of it and make your allocations. So that's about it for me. If Alicia, are you ready to take on Zoom grants?
Sure. Well, Jose had his hand up. Do you
Oh,
have a
I'm sorry,
question on the
Jose.
timeline?
That's okay.
Yes.
The site visits for this year will be in person.
Oh, that I guess that can be the next. So the next one is application review and site visit procedures.
Okay.
We wanted to check in with the committee to see if or what was the preference.
Yeah, that's a great question because we weren't sure what the preference was of the committee. We could, we could do in person or we could do what we did this last year, which was via Zoom.
I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, I have no problems going in person.
Mr. Bowman, in person was fine to me too.
Yeah, I think where the agencies don't mind us coming in and they have the ability to accommodate us with whatever is going to be in place at the time, with whatever regulations of social distancing and masks. I would ask if we can try to do as many in person, but if an agency wants to have them done via Zoom or whatever other platform they want to use that we have available, I think we should give them the option.
Okay, that works.
Yep,
We'll
sounds
check
great.
in with the agencies too. So
I agree with you
so-
said, give the agents option what they want to do. I agree.
okay. And just a reminder for your site visit teams, if after the site visits you want to discuss and need a place to meet, you guys can always meet here in our moon room. So where we meet for our regular advisory committee meetings. And we'll get your site visit schedules to you soon with those dates. So just for our regular meeting, I just wanted to let you know that your Zoom grants login will, if you didn't change your password from last year, it should be BGAC1234. If you did change your password, I'll go ahead and send you, there's a way that I can send a reminder to the users. So I'll go ahead and send that out just so you could get your password again. And I think, Rosie, do you want to conclude this meeting? And then for anyone that wants to hang on for the Zoom grants training, I can go ahead and go over that.
Sure. So at the last meeting, we discussed that we would have our regular meeting tonight. And then once we were going to go into how to access the applications on Zoom grants, that the committee members that have gone through this process before have the option of staying on or can log off since they've already done this before. But of course, the newer committee members, the ones that haven't gone through this process before, we would obviously want you to stay on so you can at least get an overview from Alicia. But for those who have gone through this process before, you're more than welcome to log off if you'd like. Our feelings will not get hurt. But we did want you to just at least have the brief meeting that we have had so that you're up to date on everything that's happened since November.
Plus, if
So
anybody,
with that,
if anybody's gonna leave, if you had any, I wanted to ask if there were any reports from committee members before they log off. Or
Sure.
if anybody had any proposed agenda items, if you just, if you want to raise your hand or type in the chat or otherwise wave me down, that'd be great. And I'll let Rosie call on you or Alicia if they see you, because I don't have the full committee up on my monitor.
sure, I don't see any hands up at this time.
All right. So with that, I guess I can adjourn the meeting at 5:51, the regular meeting.
Sure.
All right. And then those of you who need to stay to see Zoom, we'll see you at the next meeting. And thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. For those who are logging off, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2022.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Rosie. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.